What's up, YouTube? I'm Dez, and I'm back with another Weekly Leaks video, taking a look at some of the revealed cards from OPO3. This one's a little bit late coming out. I was out of state for a little while visiting my girlfriend, but I'm back, and we're going to take a look at these awesome cards that have been revealed throughout the week. The next one of these videos, I'm going to try to get back to putting them out on Tuesdays, so there's going to be a similar amount of time between last video and this one and the next one, but then back to that, I'm going to be trying to putting them out every 7 days, as long as we're actually getting like new leaked cards. And I'm actually going to turn the cam off for this one because we have some awesome artwork to get into. So let's get right into it. First, we have Khalifa, black card. We looked at this actually last week, so I'm not going to go over the effect. But this is the parallel art for her, and it's amazing. The art looks really, really good. And, of course, it's going to be expensive because it's just going to be a good card and boobs. So that's really all there is to say about that. Now we have another parallel art revealed. We have Kaku, black character with a cost of 5 and a power of 6,000 with the CP9 trait and the slasher attribute. On play, you may return 2 cards with a type including CP from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order, and then KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 3 or less, with a power counter 1,000. Fits the theme of black KOing characters based on their cost, and fits the theme of the CP cards we've seen of being able to recycle your trashed cards. Cost 5, power 6,000 is pretty good stat line, especially with a KO effect on top of it. I think this card will definitely see some play. We're just going to have to see how it stacks up to the other similarly costed removal cards that Black has access to, which is going to be a lot. The parallel art looks so good, though. I can't wait to see some texture on it with, like, probably some texture on the sword, the blue sword slash effects and things like that. It's going to look really good. We have another black card, Virgo. Cost 5 with a power 5,000 and the striker attribute. Navy and Don Quixote Pirates type. Don 1, this character cannot be KO'd by battle with a counter 2,000. The effect itself isn't great, but the counter 2,000 is really good, and it's definitely a playable card. So a playable counter 2,000 is always good. It's really going to depend on how well it stacks up to the other 2K counters that Black has. So not really too sure if it's going to see play or not, but it's a neat little card. Now we're going to get into purple, and this is what I'm really, really excited about. If you guys have been following the channel at all, you know I'm a purple player, and I am incredibly excited to play Galley-La. So the first card is going to be Galley-La Company. It's a purple stage card with the cost of 3 and the Water 7 and Galley-La Company traits. And this card's basically Onigashima. Activate main, you may rest this stage. If your leader's Iceberg, add up to 1 Don from your Don deck and rest it. It's Onigashima Island. It's going to be the engine of the deck. We're going to be back to hard mulliganing for Oni in set 3. But I'm excited a lot. And if you remember, I think 2 weeks ago we talked about the first purple card that we saw besides Iceberg, which was Granny Kokoro, who's going to be the 1 cost look at the top 5 searcher of purple, and you can search the stage. She specifies cards, not characters, so you can search out the stage. It's going to be a searchable Oni. So the amount of plays that this opens up is just going to be insane. I'm so excited to test this when we get a full set list here in the next few weeks. We have the purple Rob Lucci with a cost of 5 and the power of 6,000. Striker attribute, Water 7 Galley-La Company. When attacking, Don -1. Rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less, and he's a counter 1,000. Now, this card on its own is strong. I mean, when attacking, being able to rest a 5 cost or less, he's basically Okiku, just with a Don -1 instead of a Don X1. And if you remember, the Iceberg leader allows you to play a Galley-La Company 5-drop completely for free just by Don -1. So you can play this card turn 1, and this just looks insane. A lot of the Galley-La 5-drops just look very, very strong. And we're going to get into another one here. We have Tilt Stone. Purple character, cost of 5, power 6,000 with the striker attribute, Water 7 and Galley-La Company traits. On KO, if your leader has the Galley-La Company type, add up to 1 Don from your Don deck and rest it. So he's going to be another card that you can just cheat out turn 1. He's going to sit there on the board, and if your opponent ever tries to remove it, you're going to ramp off of it. And at the very worst, he's a counter 1,000. Just another, I think, very strong 5-drop that purple's going to have access to just play completely for free. And here's another one. We have Peple Lulu, purple character with a cost of 5 and a power of 5,000 with the ranged attribute, Galley-La Company and Water 7 traits. and his effect is Don 1 when attacking. If your leader is Galley-La Company type, add up to 1 Don from your Don deck and rest it. So another ramper, but this one can go off more than once. He's Don 1, so you're going to have to attach it on to get it off, but you play it turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, and you're playing it for free. All you're doing is Don minusing 1 to activate the effect. And he's just going to keep ramping for you, and if your opponent can't, he's a threat that your opponent's going to have to remove regardless of his effect, because he's just 5,000 power. So he's getting a Don 1 on him, so he's going to be swinging for 6, forcing 2k counters out of your opponent's hand. Just another really strong purple 5-drop that we're seeing with Galley-La Company. I'm so excited to play this deck. And Polly, our last purple card, I believe, for the week. We've seen the regular and the parallel art. The parallel art looks amazing, and I love how on the regular one, the ropes kind of go off the card a little bit. It's very interesting art style that I don't know if we've seen on too many other cards before. And also, this character is just hilarious. Just a great character from Water 7. So he's a purple character, cost 5, power 6,000 with the striker attribute, Water 7 and Galley-La Company traits. On play, rest 2 Don, add up to 1 Don from your Don deck and set it as active. Then if you have 8 or more Don in play, so rested or active or equipped, just have to be in play, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. Pretty strong KO effect. You're ramping off of it. It's kind of weird. So like the the Don 2 activation cost basically is 1, because you just have to have the 2 to activate it, but then you're getting a ramped active Don. And then if you have 8 or more in play, you're getting a KO effect on top of it. So it's a pretty strong card. It's not going to come into play until the late game, and it's definitely going to be something that it's a pretty specific requirement, right? Because you have to have those 8 Don in play. And you're going to be Don minusing every turn to activate Iceberg, most likely. But he can be played for free just by Don minusing 1. So you Don minus, let's say you have 8. You Don minus 1, you go down to 7. You rest 2 Don, which you still have all 8 active. You get that Don back that you Don minused for Iceberg, and then you still have your effect live to pop the 4 cost or less. So it's a really interesting card. I don't know how many of it's going to be included in the deck, but it's definitely going to be included in the deck in some way, I think. And I'm just very, very excited to test all of these cards. So that was our last purple card. We're going to go over to our Nami support now. We have a Nojiko blue character, cost of 2 with a 0 power in the wisdom trait, wisdom attribute, in the East blue trait. On play, if your leader is Nami specifically, return up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less to the owner's hand, and a counter 1,000. This card is insane. Nami, I was thinking the Mill Nami deck was going to be a meme, but it just keeps getting more good support. And this is for a 2-drop, bouncing a 5, you're just going to slow down the game significantly. And that's exactly what Nami's game plan is going to be. So we're really going to have to see how strong this Mill deck is going to be with cards like this and this card. So we also have Kaya, blue character, cost 1, power 0, wisdom trait, wisdom attribute, East blue trait. On play, draw 2 cards, trash 2 cards, and a counter 2,000. This is just a good card. I mean, Blue's 2k counters are not great. It's just a cycler and a 2k counter. It's just a good card, regardless of the mill support. This card's, I think, just going to see play in most blue decks. Just a strong card in general. And we have Usopp, Syrup Island Usopp, regular and parallel rare. Cost of 4, power 5,000, ranged attribute, East blue trait, with Rush. This is the first blue card we've seen with Rush, so giving a new keyword to blue is really, really strong in general. Don 1, when your opponent takes damage to their life through the attack of this character, you may trash 7 cards from the top of your deck. Even more mill support for Nami. Now we have 2 cards that when they connect, well, including the Nami leader, now 3 cards when they connect, you get to mill. And they're milling a lot. 7 cards is a lot. You really only have to get rid of... So a deck's 50 cards, you start with 5. Assuming you're going first, you start with 5. 5 go to your life. You only have to mill 40 cards. And if you get a couple of these mill 7 attacks through, you get a couple trash effects, like the draw 2, trash 2 effects through. I really don't think it's going to be that hard to mill through your deck. This deck is looking interesting for sure. And I love this Usopp parallel art here. Again, I just can't wait to see it with some texture on it. Some texture on this will look really, really good. Especially like the stars right there next to his eyes. Things like that would look great with texture. Now we have Flame Emperor, our first and only red card of the week. And I love the colorization of this panel. I'm a little sad that we're just getting panel rips for some of these events, but this just looks incredible with the colorization and some nice foiling on it because it's a rare. So we have it's a red event, cost 7 with the Whitebeard Pirates trait. Main, if your leader is Ace, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 8,000 power or less. Your leader then gains double attack and gets 3,000 power for this turn. Trigger, K up to one of your opponent's characters with 6,000 power or less. So it's got the jet pistol trigger, carrying an 8,000 power character, even if it costs 7, plus you're getting 3 Dawn worth of attack on your leader and double attack. This card seems very strong, and I was thinking the Ace leader was going to be a bit of a meme based on this effect, but if you're getting strong events like this, also hitting into red, hitting into Ace specifically is going to be so stressful because you have 8 copies of Jet Pistol now in red basically that you could hit into life. And if you've played this game at all, you know hitting Jet Pistol in life is one of the most aggravating things that can happen. So just another card you're going to have to respect if your opponent's playing Ace. Getting 3,000 power and double attack plus KOing an 8,000 power on the main effect is insane. I mean, this is the first thing we've seen that can just outright KO an 8,000 power or less character. And the double attack it makes it really scary too. I'm I'm very interested to see if we get more red event support, because if we get another card of similar power level to this, Ace might be a real leader in set 3. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. But the art on this is beautiful. Obviously, it's just a rip from the manga panel, but the colorization is really, really nice. Now we have a yellow character. We have Charlotte Pudding. Cost 1, power 2,000 with the Wisdom trait and the Big Mom Pirates. I keep mixing it up. Wisdom attribute, Big Mom Pirates trait. On play, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, so not 5, a different kind of search. Top 4 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 1 Big Mom Pirates type card other than Pudding, or up to 1 Sanji, and add it to your hand. So we have seen a yellow promo Sanji. That's the only one that we've seen so far. But I mean, I'm assuming there's going to be more. Or you could also use this in dual color leaders as well. Return the rest of the bottom to the bottom of your deck in any order with a counter 1,000. So a standard search effect, except she can also grab a Sanji, which is interesting. And you're only looking at the top 4. Definitely good. I mean, searches are just always going to be good. So, and a counter 1,000 at the very worst. Not too much else to say about that. The art looks great. It'll look great with a little bit of foiling as well. Wouldn't surprise me if we saw Pudding alternate as well. And we have a Luffy promo, cost 3, power 4,000, yellow Luffy promo, sorry, from the Land of Wano and Straw Hat Pirates traits. And when attacking, you may add up the top or bottom card of your life area to your hand, and then up to one of your characters and your leader gains 1,000 power for this turn, counter 1,000. It's an alright card. I mean, I don't really think it fits the theme of any of the yellow archetypes right now, though maybe when we get the yellow starter deck for the Yamato one. Don't know when that's going to be coming out or anything about it really. Just know the thing. This could see a bit more play. But generally these kind of promo cards aren't great. But I really like the art on it. The art and the background and all that look amazing. I'd love to get a clearer picture of it. But other than that, probably just a cool little promo card that probably not going to see too much play. And we have the top end of yellow being revealed this week. The Charlotte Lin Lin super rare yellow character, cost 10, power 12,000, 4 Emperors and Big Mom Pirates traits with the special attribute. And she reads, on play, if your leader has the Big Mom Pirates type, so you can play this with Big Mom or the Katakuri leader, place up to 1 card from the top of your deck at the bottom or top of your life. Then trash up to one of your opponent's life. So this is healing you by 1 and trashing one of your opponent's life. The amount, I mean, it's got the same problem as Kaido, where you're spending your whole turn on it, so you can just die next turn. But if you're getting a life out of it, so the chances of that happening are a little bit less. So I think this card's just going to be very, very strong if you can get it off. denying your opponent a card and healing yourself is going to be insane. If there's any way to stack your deck, so you don't get to look at the card per the wording, most likely. But if there's any way in yellow to kind of stack your deck at all and guarantee that you have a good trigger on the top and you put that to the top of your life area, most of the yellow cards have trigger anyway, but just a very, very strong card in general. The effect is insane. Very interested to see this card be played and what kind of crazy stuff you can do with it, with stacking triggers and things like that. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. I really appreciate everybody who's checking this out. Make sure to subscribe for more OPTCG content. Try to stream webcam tournaments every time I'm available to do so, usually every Tuesdays and then sporadically throughout the week when I have the time. Twitch.tv/DesTheGrinder. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. Really appreciate it. Have a good one.